Priya. Good morning to one and all present here. My name is S.D. Gopi and I belong to the 1987 batch Chemical Engineering. Before I further continue with the event, I would like to thank you all for coming here today. It only shows your interest in the betterment of AABN, but also your dedication to learning new things and meeting new personalities from the industry and entrepreneur community. Today marks the 95th webinar of AABN and I'm really honored to host this webinar. AABN has seen immense success in the last 2 years, and it was all possible because of the dedication shown by the core committee members. Today, we are all well respected from several domains here today. Before we get started, I would like to appreciate all the people who have contributed to making this webinar possible every week. We have got an awesome speaker with fresh perspectives on StandOut or FallOff, how to differentiate your brand in an attention-starved and information-saturated market to address us. Let me extend a very warm welcome to our eminent guest speaker, Mr. Vinay Pushpakaran, founder and CEO, Miyagi Learning Solutions, to this interactive business networking session. Most people think it's best to avoid a saturated market. They feel the market is too crowded with competitors and it will be difficult, if not impossible, for them to penetrate. But I take the opposite view. Testing an unproven market can become expensive, time-consuming, and risky. On the other hand, in a saturated market, there are clear signals about where opportunities lie. Most people do not read these signals properly. When a market is saturated, many competitors sell similar products and services. That tells you the market has many eager buyers. Otherwise, it would not be sustainable for so many players to be in it. It says the whole industry is aware that a great opportunity exists. Your challenge is to reset this temptation to commodify your own product by competing on cost and winning customers by being the cheapest option. Your challenge is to offer something so valuable that people will pay what you are charging for. The challenge of succeeding in a saturated market is by creating a great product. A saturated market keeps everyone on the toes to always keep improving. Otherwise, the products would soon become obsolete. The challenge for you is to keep listening to your customers and let them guide you in iterating and making your product better. Today, Mr. Vinay Pushpakaran will start this session interestingly with basics on differentiation in the real sense. He will talk about differentiation versus positioning, requirement of differentiation strategies, etc. I have the pleasant duty of welcoming and introducing him today at StandOut or FallOff, how to differentiate your brand in an attention-starved and information-saturated market, an interactive business networking session. A marketeer by profession, a speaker by choice, and a short story writer by accident. That's Vinay Pushpakaran for you. Vinay is a business keynote speaker and a seasoned marketing strategy expert. He speaks on customer experience, the future of marketing, on entrepreneurship. He helps organizations improve the customer experience and boost organic growth. Vinay is a long-standing member of the Professional Speakers Association of India and the secretary of its Chennai chapter. He has spoken at hundreds of events and kept his audience engaged with practical nuggets, relatable stories, and a dash of humor. Creating launchpads for new products, new brand, and new businesses is his happy space. Through his 18+ years of experience as a marketer and entrepreneur, he has launched 6 new businesses, 12 new brands, and 14 new products across 7 countries. Vinay is also the founder and CEO of Miyagi Learning, a transformational speaking academy for children and young adults. Over the last 10 years, he has empowered more than 5,000 students to conquer the doubts and own the stage. His students have gone on to lead, speak, debate, and make a mark for themselves in the chosen career journeys. Today, the academy works closely with the leading business schools and colleges in Chennai and other cities. Before concluding, I would like to convey my appreciation to the speaker for his time and support in contributing to this webinar, as well as my colleagues in the core committee for organizing this webinar in these challenging circumstances. I thank you all participants most warmly for your participation and wish you all success with this webinar. In closing, I reiterate the commitment of AABN to continue to strongly support the entrepreneur community. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Vinay.
Thank you so much, Gopiji. A very warm welcome and good morning to all of you here. It's a 3-day weekend and today is a Sunday. and I am seeing 37 passionate people who have logged in to be a part of this program. I cannot think of any other reason other than the passion for learning that can help you get here and inspire you to be a part of a learning session on a Sunday morning, and that to a 3-day weekend at 10:30 a.m. and be part of here. Big salute to all of you, and thank you for being here. I would request you to switch on your cams so that I can see you, because I derive my energy from you, and I want this session to be a conversation, not where I talk a lot of things, I give a lot of gyan, and then it just evaporates after the session is over. No, I want this to be a conversation. I want to speak with you. I want to learn from you. I want to learn from your experiences, and I want to add value in this 55 odd minutes that I will be spending with all of you here, and speaking on my favorite topic, and which is marketing and differentiation, how to be different. So before that, yes, one more thing I always want is I want a conversation. So since we are not able to speak to each other, I would love to have your feedback. I would love to have your comments on the chat box. So will you talk to me on the chat box? If yes, please put a yes in the chat box. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. All these yeses have just boosted my energy. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, I have a question to all of you here. Please put in your name and what business or work are you into in just 1 or 2 words. Don't take more than 1 or 2 words to tell us about your business or your work. Shivaramanji, yes. Technology licensing, wonderful. Consultant, Rameshji, smart manufacturing solutions, monitor, wonderful. FRP, storage tanks, environmental consultant, oil and gas, robo advisory in wealth management. That sounds very interesting. Renewable energy. Wonderful. Wow. Now, business strategy consulting. Mascot Dynamics, Nikhil from Mascot Dynamics, chemical and industrial. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, you've shared your domain and your business with me. Now, next question. What exactly does your business offer to your customers? Can you put that in 3 to 4 words? What does your business offer to your customers? 3 to 4 words, not more than that. Electrical engineering services, spot on. Okay, great. Instrumentation engineering and fire suppression solution. Environmental protection, creating wealth using your existing resources. Very specific, Arunji, very specific. Technology for chemical and petrochemical projects. Enhancing business growth strategies. Low cost storage, very specific. Transform performance and productivity. Wonderful. Now, by the end of this session, I'm hoping that we will add another facet, another element to this, because we are going to be talking about something which is relevant to every single business that is existing on this planet today. Because I believe that every business should be profitable, and every business should grow, and every business should serve its target customers. And that is what we are going to be talking about today. I will start off by sharing a clean technology. I see a lot of professionals here from who are working with sustainability and green energy. We save life of wealth and people. Wonderful. I like the way you put that. Great. Okay, so this is, I have a short presentation for you, a few slides, and this entire session will go on for about 50 minutes. And then after that, we will have an open session wherein we'll have a discussion on as many questions, as many thoughts, as many ideas. I'll try and take every single question that is posted here. I love Q&As. I love the discussions because Q&As tell me two things. Number one, that you've listened to the entire session. Number two, that the session made you think. And number three, that you want to learn more. So we will leave sufficient time for Q&As towards the end. Now, without much ado, let's quickly jump into the session. Can everybody see my presentation? Oh, great. Stand out or fall off. This session is about differentiating your brand in an attention-starved, information-saturated market. We spoke about the domain versus business. Domain is the industry space that you work in, and your business is the service, the value that you are creating in that business space. Now, this is something which we've been hearing. These two terms have been playing in our mind when it comes to marketing for a very long time, because these two are the cornerstones of marketing: positioning and differentiation. What do you think is the biggest difference between positioning and differentiation? Or are they the one and the same thing, wherein we are looking at the same thing from different angles? Are they one and the same, or are they different? If you think they're different, just type different in the chat box. If you think they're same, just type same in the chat box. Different. Okay, I saw different. Wonderful. Positioning is targeting a specific market. Thank you, Rameshji. You are spot on. Yes, positioning has to do with your target market, different in terms of value. Padmarajaji. Yes, wonderful. What is positioning? Positioning is the space that your brand occupies in your target customer's mind. That is positioning. Positioning is the perception or the space that you occupy in your target customer's mind. How does the target customer think about you? What is Coca-Cola's positioning? Coca-Cola is positioned as a fizzy cola drink. A fizzy cola drink in the target customer's mind. But is that only a fizzy cola drink? Because if it's positioned only as a fizzy cola drink, then any fizzy cola drink that comes up in the market will start competing with it. But no, it's a fizzy cola drink that gives happiness. It's a fizzy cola drink that gives happiness. That's how the brand has established its space in the target customer's mind, which is why it is a market leader in the cola drinks market. Positioning is not how you see your brand. Positioning is how your customer sees your brand. That is positioning. Now, what is differentiation? Differentiation is a very simple way to put that. Let me just share my next slide here. Positioning and differentiation. Differentiation is the prime reason why your target customer will choose your brand and not any other competitive alternative. I repeat, differentiation is the reason, is the main core, primary reason why your target customer will choose your brand over other competitive alternatives. Differentiation is always with respect to competitor alternatives. Positioning is always with respect to your target market, your target customer. So if you decide to target a different customer, your positioning will change. Your differentiation may not change, but your positioning will change. And if you are entering a new market, your differentiation will change. So that's the key difference. Now, let me share a very interesting story about this brand called Arm & Hammer. Now, what is baking soda used for? What do we use baking soda for? We use baking soda for baking cookies and cakes. I mean, we all know that. Now, what was the positioning challenge that Arm & Hammer faced? It's a very interesting story. Arm & Hammer, when they launched 150 years ago, if I'm not wrong, about 150 years ago, when they launched, it was launched as a baking ingredient for bakers, those who want to make cakes, cookies. This was for them. Now, baking soda has another property. Baking soda absorbs bad smell, which is why baking soda, we sometimes put it in our refrigerator and it absorbs the bad smell that's used. You know, it's seen as a technique to remove foul odor from refrigerators. What happened is a lot of people were buying Arm & Hammer baking soda, but they were buying it not to make cakes. They were buying it to put it inside the refrigerators as a deodorant. Now, the company did not launch, manufacture and market this product as a deodorizer. They marketed it as a baking ingredient, but people were using it for a different purpose. This was a classic case of positioning mismatch or positioning clash, because the company saw the brand as a baking ingredient. The customer saw it as a powerful deodorizer. Now, the company had two options after that. Now, one, the company could have decided that, okay, I think my product is a baking ingredient. I don't want it to be used in fridges and cupboards and wherever people want to drive smell away. That's not where I want to see my product. So I want my product to be a baking ingredient. So I will now pump my marketing, my advertising. I will promote everywhere. I'll talk about baking. I will do baking contests. I will run all over the place and shout, scream from rooftops. Arm & Hammer is a baking powder, baking soda, not a deodorizer. That is option number one. Option number two. Okay. It doesn't matter what I think. It's how my customer sees it. So why not I launch Arm & Hammer, a version of Arm & Hammer as a deodorizer? Why not I enter this category? Because this is the category which is there in my mind. It is positioned so strongly in my customer's mind in this category. Why not I launch it in this category? Now, a question to all of you. Which option do you think Arm & Hammer went with? Option 1 or 2? Please put in the chat box. Option 2. Why not both? Yeah, no, by the way, option number 2 means both. Sorry, I didn't clarify that. Yeah, option number 2 means that no, I'm not stopping selling it as a baking ingredient, but I'm also launching it in the segment of a deodorizer. Yes, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what Arm & Hammer did. Arm & Hammer launched an entire series of products of baking soda to be kept in refrigerators. In fact, they, if I remember, it's called Fridge and Freeze or something like that. They had a new brand name also to it. The product was exactly the same. And their revenues shot 60%. 60%, they had a huge revenue growth in the first year of its launch. And then it took off from there. The category took off from there. The classic case of how a company managed positioning. Now, this was positioning. What was the differentiator that Arm & Hammer here? Why did people see it? Now, in the same example, let's take the same example to understand the difference very clearly. Now, in the baking ingredient category, customers did not see much differentiation between Arm & Hammer and other products. It's one of those products. Yeah, this is also there. It's also good. It's okay. But in the deodorizing category, that is where they found that, oh my God, Arm & Hammer does it better than any of the other deodorizers in the market. They found that this is the place where we want to be, because this is where our differentiation is so strong. We are able to beat competitive alternatives in this category, so we have to be there in this category. And that's exactly what they chose. That's exactly what they did. And their business skyrocketed. This is this story is a classic example of differentiating between positioning and differentiation, and also to understand how a company very smartly played the game. Are you with me till now? Please give me a thumbs up if you're with me till now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. All right. So now let's look at what makes a great differentiator, or what exactly is a good differentiator. Why do we need differentiation? Why do you think we need differentiation? Any thoughts on this? Why exactly do we need to be different? Because there are so many products which are just like another product. Why do we need to be different? What are the benefits that we get if we are different? Any guess? All of you are have loads of experience in your business, in your industry. Why is differentiation such an important thing? Why is everybody screaming we have to be different? To stand out from competition, to get customers choice, yes. To increase visibility, yes, absolutely. Very, and one very to lift the performance. One very important thing, you are not in a rat race. I love that. Rajan, yes, you are not in a rat race. You can have your pricing. Very important. All the reasons you've just shared, all the reasons right now. Now we need differentiation because differentiation does 5 very important things for us. Number one, this is proven. This number is proven by a Harvard Business School review research. Companies that differentiate effectively, differentiate well, on an average, they achieve 3x, that is 300% more growth. 300%. That's 3 times revenue than those who do not differentiate, than those who are content to be a commodity with little or no differentiation. Second, higher returns on marketing. Now, why higher returns on marketing? Let's look at it this way. When you have a very clear-cut differentiation, you are not trying to please the market, the entire world. Everybody is not your customer. You are marketing to a very specific target audience. You are marketing to a specific consumer, and you are marketing a specific strength, a differentiation point. So your marketing returns are higher because you are not wasting your marketing dollars, your marketing budgets. You are very specific. You're targeting the right customer with the right message. That's why a good differentiation gives you higher returns on marketing. Those of you here who have done Facebook marketing, you're used Facebook as a paid Facebook ads. This is a classic example of that, because when you get your differentiation right, and you get that right and you're doing it to the right target market, your return on ad spend is much higher. For 1 rupee that you invest in, your returns go up even to the tune of 20 to 40. So higher returns on marketing, big advantage. Third, less dependence on price. Like that one of the reply, yeah, you don't have to depend on, that okay, my competition is pricing it at 200 rupees. I need to price at 190, 180. When you have a clear-cut, strong differentiator, you don't have to, your price does not depend on what the others are pricing. You can command your price because you have a clear differentiation. Number 4, higher profitability. I don't even have to say that, because when you have clear differentiation, your brand value increases. When your brand value increases, you can charge higher premium on your pricing, which is the third point, and that improves your profitability. And fifth one, you have much stronger customer loyalty. because customers know very well that, okay, this is what you stand for, or this is what I get when I buy your, or when I engage your services. So you offer consulting in this particular thing. Oh, now I can go to, there are 10 other consultants in the market who offer the same service. But when I come to you, I know very well that when you're working on my project, your entire focus is with me. You will give me much more value than anybody else. So then I become loyal to you. I become, I start off as a customer, then become your devotee. I become your brand fan. And that is where the good differentiation plays such a big role. So these are 5 powerful reasons why we need good differentiation for our brand and for our business. So what is bad different? Now let's look at, now we know why we need differentiation. So let's look at how. And before we look at how, let's look at what is good differentiation. Now, I'm sure some of us have seen these brand promises or these statements that, you know, our employees set us apart. We are trusted advisors to our clients. We strive for excellence. We provide fantastic client service. We have a proprietary process. Take a moment and read these 5 lines, all of you. I request all of you to just read these lines, because I want us to have a small discussion on this to understand what is wrong with these differentiators. What is wrong about this? Compared to me too, focus on we. Oh, very interesting. Why do you think, why else, my question is to the to others. Why else do you think these don't work? Generic, not specific. Brilliant. Yes, these are very generic. Yes. What else is wrong with it? You're boasting yourself. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, you're absolutely right. This does sound a little, but there are 2 more things which are very wrong about this. Abstract. Yes, abstract, not quantified. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Yes, these are just statements, not facts, and no customer benefit. Brilliant. I think. I don't even have to explain this section now, because you've just answered all the reasons for this. These are bad differentiators because, number one, it is very difficult to prove them. What do we mean by we strive for excellence? I've seen this on a lot of company websites. I've seen this on mission statements, or I've seen this a lot of even on brochures. I've seen this line, we strive for excellence. What does it mean to a customer? Does it mean anything to a customer when a company tells them that, you know, we strive for excellence? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It is not even relevant for them, because nobody cares about your excellence. What I care about is, what are you delivering? What value are you delivering to me? And why are you the best at delivering this value as compared to other competitive alternatives? Now, this is why I'm going to pay you money. This is why I'm going to pay you my time. So you have to make it worthwhile for me. You have to tell me why you. That's the most important question here. Why you? So here, our employees set us apart. Does that tell us anything? Tell the customer anything? I'm a customer. I'm reading. Yeah, your employees are great. So what? No. We provide fantastic client service. Now that is important. Yes, but there is something wrong with that, because is it quantifiable? Can it be measured? What do you mean by fantastic client service? Now, if you tell me that we address client concerns in a turnaround time of 24 hours, now does it make more sense? Yes, sir. Yes, Rajesh ji, we can reduce your electricity bills by 30% if you use our dehumidifier. Spot on. Spot on. Now that's, that's provable. That's authentic, and that means something to me. Okay, reduce my electricity bill by 30%. Wow, I will be impressed. I will be convinced. So yes, this makes a lot of sense to me. This makes a lot of sense to me. That is why these are bad differentiators. Now, how do we know whether something is a good differentiator or not? A good differentiator will have 3 properties. 3. A good differentiator will be, number 1, True. Very important. It has to be true. You cannot fake. You cannot, in today's market, you cannot fake a differentiator. You cannot say that, I am very good at logistics, but then every delivery that you make to a customer's premise is delayed by half an hour, or somebody, cancels out. No. And if you say that, logistics is my strength, sorry, that doesn't sound true to me as a customer. Second, relevant. Now, there is a company called, there's a brand called Kohler. Okay, now this is a very interesting case study. They designed a $5,000 toilet. A $5,000 toilet. Now, what was unique about this $5,000 toilet? They said that nobody in the world makes this toilet, makes this product. We are the only company in this world from whom you can buy this toilet. That is why we are charging $5,000. And why? Because this toilet doesn't require a flush. It's movement sensitive, whatever that means. Well, how many units do you think they sold? Yeah, it was a disaster for the company, because this differentiating advantage that they offered to the customer, nobody cared. It was not relevant for the customer. This was not a relevant differentiator at all. They said, so what? We don't really care. So a differentiator should mean something of importance to your customer, something the customer values, not something that you feel that, oh, wow. Like, if I tell you that, I have this washing machine that has tornado or whirlpool technology or fuzzy logic, what does it mean to you? Nothing. I tell you, I have this washing machine that is the only washing machine in the market which twists your clothes 3 times before wringing it, and that ensures 50% higher cleaning. Now, does this make sense? Now, can you connect more with this? And does it become more relevant to you as a customer who is going to use that washing machine? Yes, then you have me. You have me, your customer who's buying from you. Third, provable. If you say that, I offer exceptional customer service, I will ask you, prove it to me. Prove it. Can you prove it? Do you have records? Do you have systems in place to prove it to your customer that you are really an owner of that differentiator, that you really own that differentiator? If you cannot prove it, then sorry, the third box is not ticked. It cannot be a powerful differentiator. So a good differentiator will be true. It will be relevant to your customer, target customer, and it will be provable. These are the 3 things that make a good differentiator. Are you with me till now? Is that clear? Please type in a yes if you're with me till now. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So now let's move to the next part. Now we know, yes, basis like smart differentiators. Yes, I connect that to the SMART goals. Yes, specific, measurable. Okay. Now with differentiators, let's look at how do we differentiate? How exactly do we differentiate our brand, our products? Now, there are several differentiating strategies. There are, I think, about 30 to 40 differentiating strategies, but I am not here to share all those 30, 35 with you. I have handpicked those differentiating strategies and studied them, which are relevant for entrepreneurs, which are relevant for startups, which are relevant for businesses who do not have the kind of budgets or the teams of an MNC or a multinational or a global organization. This should be effective and powerful and should be implementable by entrepreneurs. So I have identified and selected these 6 differentiation strategies, and I will share with you each in detail on each of these 6 differentiation strategies. And I will also tell you stories of brands that have used that and how exactly they did that. All right. So Moving to the first. The first 6 differentiation strategies for entrepreneurs. Here, my target market, my target audience for this particular session is entrepreneurs. And the first differentiation strategy is your niche. Now, one question to all of you here. What do you mean by, and what do you think we mean by a niche here? All of you are operating in your markets, but what exactly is the niche here? What are we calling as a niche? Sweet spot. I couldn't have put it better. It's amazing. Varunji, yes, sweet spot, specific targets, primary focus market. Absolutely correct, Shankarji. You're absolutely right. Specific targets. Now, how can differentiation work when it comes to specific niche? Now, differentiation works for all of us. We all have our differentiators. And now, to make this point very clear, let me give you an example of cameras. Now, all of us know about digital cameras. What product came into the market and digital cameras completely vanished? Digital camera market was destroyed by absolutely mobile phones, because mobile phone cameras came with powerful megapixels and with all the kind of mind-boggling features that can help you shoot pictures in every situation, every kind of picture they could come with, and they destroyed the mobile phone market. But then there was this one company. There is this one company that decided to go deeper into the niche. Go much deeper into the niche. They differentiate. They said, we are not offering digital cameras to people. We are offering a product which is only for people who are going on treks or who are going on bike rides, athletes, because this camera can be attached on your chest. Yes, Pratap ji, absolutely correct. GoPro. GoPro is a classic example of a brand that differentiated on purely a niche. They said, we are serving only those customers, that this product is, that we are the only guys who can deliver. And till now, they are the market leader in that niche. Nobody has beaten them. There are other brands that have tried to copy. They've tried to come up in that segment, but nobody could beat GoPro there, because GoPro decided to drill deep down into the niche and make that niche their own. They made sure that nobody else can be better at serving this specific target market better than us, in terms of quality, in terms of delivery, in terms of service, in terms of everything. Only this market. Now, what happened with that? Did only trekkers and athletes buy these cameras? No. A lot of common people also bought these cameras. A lot of common people bought these cameras and started using them. So you may decide to go deep into a niche, but the people who are outside on the periphery of the niche, regular travelers, regular people who are going up, who are going on to family trip, they started. Police force, absolutely. Vloggers. Lots of people. Now, these are not the target market that GoPro marketed to. GoPro marketed it to athletes and trekkers. They're very clear. Cyclists or athletes who are going to different terrain, and they want those, the cameras which are attached on the chest or on the helmet to capture the visuals with a large span. Now, GoPro cameras have an amazing span. So it's a tiny little camera, but then it captures a large panorama view. And when you see these trekkers and athletes post pictures on social media, you'll find a lot of them are GoPro pictures. So, but that they differentiated themselves from the market by using the first strategy that I'm talking about, which is niche. So similarly, now, if you're serving a niche, if you are One something that I read very recently in the papers, in the media is, now we know toy manufacturers. Now, which are the brands of toy manufacturers that comes to our mind immediately, which that make toys for children, young people, adults? Which brand of toys are you aware of that comes immediately? Hanley, Lego toys. Yes. Now, one company realized that now all these toys, and this company is a local company, or rather this company decided to do something different, because they said all these toys, all these games come in English. Why can't we have a game? Why can't we have these games in Tamil, so that our people, our local audience starts to play them, gets to play them? And that's when Hasbro is the company that launched these games launched a Tamil version of these games. Some of the leading games in the market, they launched a Tamil version. It's happened very recently. In fact, if you go to any of the toy outlets these days, their new stock has arrived. So now this is called, they are now differentiating from the market by saying we are going into the niche. Now we want to make these toys available for our local population who can enjoy these games in their native language, and they want to take this to other cities in other languages. Why can't a local child in living in Gujarat get this game in Gujarati? Why not? So that is a niche which they wanted to target. There are lots of examples, lots of stories around there where brands are now going niche. That your target, no, my toys are, and there are some. Now there is a restaurant, I am not getting the name of that, in Bangalore, which gives a very, very unique differentiator there, that uses that I am not here to cater to all kinds of food. I am here to cater to only authentic Japanese, only authentic, which means that you don't get anything which is the food is prepared by a Japanese chef. And if you don't like Japanese food, don't come here. Now that's another example of using niche. That now how many people are that target, that niche segment might be small, but no, I want to serve serve people who appreciate true Japanese food, not Indianized version of Japanese food. Not tandoori sushi, or not sushi achari, and no, not those. Those are the Indianized versions. This is authentic Japanese food. So there are several examples of using the niche. Now, one thing to be careful about when you're using the niche differentiation strategy is, number one, the niche should be small enough for you to be the big fish in the small pond. It should be small enough for you to grow yourself to a position of power in that. When GoPro entered the market of the mobile cam, or the not the mobile cam, the athletes cam, there was literally nobody in that market, and they captured the market. There were just one or two players, and then GoPro realized that this is the market for us to capture. But it should also be large enough for you to meet your revenue targets for sustainability. If you're serving a market which is too small that you're literally struggling to keep your business alive, then that's a problem. So using the niche differentiation strategy, you should choose a niche which is small enough for you to be the big boss in that, and large enough for you to achieve your revenue and sustainability targets. That's the first differentiation strategy. Are you with me on the first differentiation strategy? Please type 1 in the chat box. Pratapji, I'm using Tamil in my pamphlets. Wonderful. That's great. Yes, that makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Yes. Enter a niche which can give you powerful differentiation. That's first. Now let's go to the second one. This is even more important. This is your story. That's the second differentiation strategy, your story. Now, how is your story important? How is your story a differentiator? The second powerful difference, today's customer Why this differentiation strategy is important is 25 years back, customers did not even have 1%, did not even have 1% of the number of choices that today's customer has. We are bombarded. We are literally bombarded and flooded with information and marketing thrown into our face from brands all over the place, our mobiles, our social media, our ad banners that pop up, the pop-ups we have to go and click and close, and all those unwanted SMSs that come in our phone. All this is some form of marketing hitting us. In this information saturated market, in this market, why is a story important? Because stories cannot be there's a, I think one of the cams is one of the mics is unmute. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, so your story is something that, yes, they tell your purpose. They tell, absolutely correct, Rajesh ji, you are absolutely correct. They tell the customer, please connect with me. I understand you. I am, and I stand for something that you believe in. Now, how many brands now? Can you think of a brand around us? What way does your story is like self-marketing? In what? Yeah, I'm coming to that. Stories, telling a story about your brand is not self-marketing. Telling a story about your brand is telling the customer not what you sell, not how you sell, telling them why you sell that, telling them why you're in that industry. Why are you a consultant? Why are you consulting in clean energy? Why are you consulting in, why are you providing technology? Why? What is it that you believe in? What is your belief system? What is your purpose? There's a beautiful book by Simon Sinek. In fact, I would recommend that book for every business owner, every entrepreneur. Please do read that book once, which is Start With Why. That's the name of the book by Simon Sinek. It's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful book, an absolute must read. And that entire book talks about understanding your why. And in the story differentiation, your brand story differentiation, it's so relevant because you're telling your customer that, you know, this is what we stand for as a brand. One very interesting example, that I want to share with you here. In fact, let me share my screen. Wait 1 second. Why is the video not playing? Yeah. Okay. I want to share a video with you, and I will not share the entire video because it's a 5-minute video, but I will share the first 1.5 minutes of this video. Okay. The product, the category is something which I'm sure all of you will know that. What is the big deal about it? This category is shaving products. Now, which brand comes to your mind when it comes to shaving products? Beardo. Yes, Beardo is one of the newer players in the market. Gillette, absolutely correct. Gillette is, you know, a giant. Now there is this company that has come with a very powerful differentiator, which is a story to tell. The story is very interesting, and now once you decide on your story, you can communicate it in your marketing, in your communication, all that. I'm sharing a video which will tell you what the story is all about. Please let me know if you're able to hear the sound, because sound is important here. Can you see my screen? Please type yes if you can see my screen. Ah, perfect. Great. Thank you. Yeah. One second, I'm just starting.
आप खुद ही देख लीजिए एक बार।
अरे बाहर नहीं, आजा बाहर। भाई चीज तो बढ़िया बना रखी है, और भाई के बेचो इसमें?
सर हम सर्विसेज करते हैं, सैलून सर्विस।
सर्विस? भाई 20 साल तो मन्ने हो गए इस रोड पे सर्विस करते करते। भाई हमारी भी सर्विस करते थोड़ी सी। भाई वाह, भाई हमारी 20 साल की सर्विस और आपकी 20 मिनट की सर्विस, वाह दिल खुश कर दिया। भाई काम तो बढ़िया करा, मजा आ गया। लेकिन भाई बात ऐसी है, ड्यूटी हमारी भी है, अब गाड़ी ले भाई यहाँ से, ठीक है?
भैया 2 चाय मिलेगी क्या?
मिलेगी भाई।
Bombay Shaving Company, this is the brand. And there is a very beautiful story that was being told through that video. What was that story? What is the gist of that story? What were they trying to communicate? What do you think they were trying to communicate? Yes, absolutely correct, Nikhilji. Yes, connect with common people. Absolutely correct. Something else more? Any more thoughts? What did you get out of that video? What did you see from that? It's a very, very beautifully choreographed video. Mobile service at doorstep. The story here that they're trying to communicate is not the features, not the benefits, nothing. They're saying a good shave should not be only for people who have a lot of money and time. Everybody, a common man should be able to afford a good quality shave. We are bringing top quality shaving experience to a common man. That's the story being told. They didn't talk about that, our cream has this many features, our cream is soothing on the skin and it's paraben free and sulfate free and so on and so forth. No, they didn't talk about their blades. They didn't talk about anything. They just said, we will give an amazing experience to the common man within his time frame. And they did that very, very smartly. They used small messaging. They said 20 minutes. So which means that in 20 minutes with our products, the message being conveyed with our products, you can, we know that you're busy, you're earning your livelihood. But in 20 minutes, you can have an amazing shave. That's the message that was being conveyed there. And this is for you as well. Now, they may not run their mobile vans in real. There may be happening in few certain cities, but the message, the story being told is, we are taking quality, world-class quality shaving to a common man. That's a story. What story is our brand telling our customer? What is the story? Do we feel very strongly about something? Is our brand communicating that? When you differentiate yourself on stories, your consumer immediately, you start standing out in a crowd. Oh, that guy is telling a great story about his product. I am very interested to know what that's about. Even when you go to a supermarket to to shop, and there are lots of salesmen, and one guy stands up. One guy stands up and says that, sir, you seem like you've had a long, tiring day. Why don't you sit down? Can I get you a cup of tea? I know, and if you're carrying your laptop and they say that, I know you're coming after a long day at work. Why don't I get you a cup of tea? That guy stands out among all the others. This is what story does. This is absolutely what story does. And that's why stories are such a powerful differentiator, because they connect directly to your target audience. They're very, very relevant, very relevant. And if you can prove it with your messaging, your availability, if now after showing this ad, if Bombay Shaving Company was not available in the smaller department stores, then it's not provable. So you're saying that it's available it's for common man, but it's not available. No, sorry. But Bombay Shaving Company has improved their distribution to make it accessible to common men, common people. And that is the power of a good story. Another message: policeman does not pay. No, in this case, they have not shown any monetary transaction at all. They have not shown that they're collecting money from anybody. In fact, this is actually a 5.5-minute ad. I just played, I think, about 2.5 minutes out of that. They're showing other examples also. They're not showing any monetary transaction at all here. So, that's left up to our interpretation. But yes, I do agree with you that we have to be careful about choosing ads, sir. Absolutely. We have to be careful about the messaging, that it does not, backfire on us. Now, another example, I know this entrepreneur based in Coimbatore. Now, she has her brand of clothing. Now, she uses both these for differentiators, niche as well as story. She creates clothes specifically for children from the age of 6 months to 7 years. So, and only pure cotton clothes. That's it. No, too many different variants. Only so if you have a child in the age group of 6 months to 7 years and you want a pure cotton attire with nice patterns, fun patterns, that's very simple, very clean, clear, focused niche. She only does that. And story, she tells a story, and when you visit her social media page or her thing, she talks about that, I started this business 3 years back because I wanted pure cotton attire for my children. I've got 2 toddlers, I've got 2 small children, and when I was going there, I didn't find too many good options in the market, and they were not easily accessible for me. So I thought, okay, I wanted to start something off. I wanted to do this, and this is how my journey started. So I only sell the clothes that I would have my children wear. How is that for a story? That's the kind of story that connects. The name of this, the entrepreneur is Sirargal. You can check out their Instagram page. Very, very beautiful way they narrate a story, and they're growing so well. They're doing so well. So differentiation based on story is the second strategy that I wanted to talk about today. Now let's look at, are you with me on still the second one? Please type 2 in the chat box if you're with me. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Now let's look at the third kinds. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Yes. So we're done with the story. Now let's look at 3. This is an easy one. This is innovation. Now, innovation. This is, when you differentiate on the basis of innovation, you literally become an unstoppable force, because not everybody can differentiate on innovation. Not everybody can do that. Now, how do you differentiate on innovation? Now, let me ask a question that if I ask you, which cooking oil can you think of which is good for heart? What's the first name that will come to your mind? Please put in the chat box. I see a lot of Safolas. Yes, Safola. Safola did not market itself or did not differentiate itself. I'm talking about the brand, not the product, not the brand. Safola as a brand marketed itself on the innovation, differentiated itself on the innovation platform. They said, we are the only player in the market compared to competition who have a product which is suited for heart patients, or which is suited for people with blood pressure, with cardiovascular issues, with blood sugar. They created an entire range of products around that, which was suited purely for cholesterol issues. Absolutely correct. They innovated on the regular cooking oil. And immediately, in the mind of the customer, in the mind of the target customer, the immediate thing was that, oh, these guys have gone outside the I mean, all the other oils. What is there? They said, we are the only players in the market to offer you this. The innovation platform purely works. Now, since a lot of you are in the engineering and technical field, I'm sure innovation is, in fact, you will be able to explain the innovation factor better than me, because you see innovation in a lot of things right in front of you. And innovation is something that is so powerful as a differentiator because of the high turnaround time. What I mean by turnaround time is, when you have an innovation as a differentiator, people often take time to copy it. And when people try to copy it in a hurry, it remains a copy. It takes time, and you get that first mover advantage of that innovation. Again, for innovation to be a strong differentiator, two things very important. Number one, innovation should be relevant to your target market. Extremely an important point. Innovation should be relevant to your target market. Number two, innovation should focus on, now, if your target market is college students and your innovation takes the price of your product up by 40%, beats the whole purpose, because then you get knocked out of the category, because immediately the college student, they will appreciate your innovation, but then they will go and buy from somebody else. Now, in this point, I want to bring up another, from the beginning, I've been saying as compared to your competitive alternatives. Now, why did I not say competition? Why am I consistently using the term competitive alternatives? Okay, now to ask a simple question here. If you are, say for example, you are, now, how many of you are familiar with the Ayurvedic company called Kottakkal Ayurvedashala from Kerala? I'm sure it has branches all over, and we all are familiar with that. Now, if I ask you that if Kottakkal is the brand, what are competitive alternatives to that? What do you think are competitive alternatives to Kottakkal? Absolutely, Rajesh, you've got the point. Absolutely correct. Ayush, yes. Ayush and Vaidyaratnam, there are lots of brands. They are competitors. Patanjali, to some extent, in some product categories. But competitive alternative is, to understand who the competitive alternative for you is, ask your customers this one question. Yes, absolutely, Pratapji. Ask your customer this one question. What would you do if my brand did not exist? Now, not everybody will say, not every Gillette person. If you ask a Gillette customer that, what will you do if Gillette, my brand, was not there in the market? Some will say that I will go for 7 o'clock. I will go for this. Some will say that, no, I may just decide to grow a beard. So growing a beard is also a competitive alternative. Competitive alternative does not mean other brands in your category alone. Yes, those are competitive alternatives. Competitive alternative also includes what your customer will do if you did not exist in the market. If a database solution did not exist in the market, if say a database solution brand called ABC did not exist in the market, sometimes people may go for a DEF or XYZ, but sometimes people will decide to use an Excel sheet. And sometimes people will decide to hire an intern and outsource it. All these are competitive alternatives. And as business owners, as marketers, as entrepreneurs, we need to be aware of this very well, that what are our competitive alternatives? If we have not done that, this is an exercise that we should do today. So that is about innovation as a powerful differentiation strategy. Pratap ji, yes, I sell eco-friendly mattress. For me, all synthetic mattresses are competitive alternatives. Yes, all synthetic mattresses are alternatives. For you, other brands of eco-friendly mattresses are also I mean, even cotton mattresses are a competitive alternative for you. Even those who now, if your eco-friendly mattress didn't exist, I decide that I don't use a mattress. I have a back issue. I will, lie flat on a wooden thing, or I'll use a mat to lie. That might also be a competitive alternative for you. We don't know. So look at all possible competitive alternatives, but best ask your customer. Never assume. Never assume that you know your competition. It's always best to know from your customer. Fourth, after innovation, we come to the next differentiation strategy, which is expertise. Now, expertise, your expertise. Now, expertise can also mean your experience level. Now, this is very relevant for consultants or who are coaches, who are trainers. This is very important because expertise can also mean your long standing in the market. If you know your industry, say you're a banking consultant and you've been in the market, or you've been working for banks for 22 years, you've worked for 4 of the top banks in the country. Now that's a distinctive expertise differentiator that you have, which is not easy to copy. And what does that 22 years of experience in the banking industry mean for the customer? That is what your marketing should focus on. I know every mistake that is to be made in the banking domain. When you say that, that is something that captures your differentiation so very well. And oh, sorry. I will just, one second. Yeah. Yes. Expertise. This is the 4th differentiator, which is expertise. Expertise is a very, very powerful differentiator. And why? Because now we spoke about the three qualities of a good differentiator. It has to be true, it has to be relevant, it has to be provable. Now, with the thing about expertise is it's very, very easy to prove. Now, expertise can come from qualification, expertise can come from certifications, expertise can come from the number of years that you have worked in the domain. The way, say, if you yourself have conceived that product or the solution, that's expertise. If you have written a book, that's expertise. If you write a blog on clean energy and you've been writing articles, posting articles on that every week, that is expertise. That's a powerful differentiator, which is why I'm a huge believer in the fact that differentiation, which is expertise differentiation, should always be communicated. Now, Domino's Pizza, all of us know that. Domino's Pizza, what do you think is their expertise? Which they're using as a yes, absolutely. Their expertise is not the pizza. Their expertise is delivery. That's how they have differentiated. Absolutely brilliant. You guys are an amazing audience. Amazing audience. Wow, super. Domino's Pizza built its entire built its entire differentiation strategy around delivery. We deliver pizzas in 30 minutes and we are so confident that we will refund your money if we don't deliver it in 30 minutes. People talk about, people talk about ordering from there are so many other pizza makers in the town. People don't talk about Domino's, the pizza per se. They talk about that, yeah, if I order on Domino's, it'll come quickly. Let's order. I need a quick dinner. I'm ordering from Domino's right away. It's quick delivery, fast turnaround time. So that is their expertise, and they are communicating that expertise across. If we look around us, you'll find so many brands that communicate their expertise so powerfully. Are we good? Are we good at the fourth differentiation strategy? If you're with me, please type 4 in the chat box. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Now let's look at the fifth differentiator, which is after expertise, and that is, this is an interesting one, exclusivity. How is exclusivity a differentiator? How do you think we can differentiate our product by being exclusive? Exclusivity. Any guesses? Any thoughts? What? Not everyone gets it. Absolutely correct. Not. I'm asking, your guesses all this time because of the amazing responses that you've shared and the way you've come up with, with the way you've shared your understanding and your thoughts on that. Thank you very, very much for doing that. Yes. Exclusivity it plays on the customer's ego. Yes, absolutely. By invitation. Now, if you've ever shopped a Redmi phone, if any of you have shopped a Redmi phone, whenever they come up with a new variant of the Redmi phone, Redmi Note 11, Note 12, whatever the new brand they come up with, they always, they don't make it available immediately. What they do is, and this strategy, they do it very smartly. They say that, the sale for our phone is opening at 12 o'clock. And 12 o'clock, the entire world wants to, on a particular date, 25th of September, our new model Redmi Note 12 will be up for sale. 3 colors, limited stocks. Only the first people who are fastest fingers will get the phone, and people are ready with their, credit cards, and people at 12 o'clock, we log on to Amazon. Let's quickly buy the phone. I want 12 o'clock, we log in, and, even people who might be considering other models the other models will be available even after this. No, that's not a problem. Redmi will be available only. This one is available only for a short period. It must be something very special. It's all the mind playing here. When you see a message like that, you immediately want to log in. Yeah, I want a new phone anyways. Let me log in at 12 o'clock. And at 12:15, they will stop it. Do you think they've really run out of stock? Definitely not. They want you to wait. They want you to, oh gosh, I missed the chance. Now I want to get to the next sale. And then they announce the next sale is coming on this date. Please be aware. And then you will talk about it to 10 people. That's using the powerful exclusivity differentiation. I'll tell you a story. A man in Hong Kong, no, sorry, not in Hong Kong. I think Spain. A man in Spain wanted to open a restaurant. He opened a restaurant, and he got a very good chef. He got a very good team. He had a very nice menu card designed. He had a nice interior, all that designed. The restaurant was ready. He announced the inauguration. I am opening my restaurant. He chose a very nice place also. And he announced on the first day, 3 people walked in to eat. Just 3 people. And it went on. People were just not coming to the restaurant. People were going past, looking at it, going away. He just couldn't figure out what was wrong. It went on for a couple of weeks, and he got very worried, and he thought, I might have to shut my business down because this is just not working. And he thought, okay, before I shut my business down, let me call up my friend who's living in another city. Now, he runs a barber shop. Now, he's not related to restaurants in any way, but he just called his friend that night and said, you know, buddy, I opened this restaurant. Yeah, I know. You heard. How is it going? Oh, very bad. Yeah, it's not going well at all. People are not walking in. Said, now what do I do? He said, where is it located? He said, this place. Just do one thing. Try this one thing. And he whispered something in his ear. The next day, which was a Friday, this man invited all his friends, the friends, families, relatives, everybody to come for a free meal at their new restaurant. At 7 o'clock, he said only 7 to 8, the free meal will be available for 1 hour. Now the word spread in his friend circle, and his restaurant could accommodate only about 60-70 people. Around 110 people turned up. Obviously, everybody could not get in. So the remaining people stood outside in queue. Suddenly, the entire street, everybody started wondering, okay, why is there a crowd outside only this restaurant? This food here must be something out of the world. Oh my God, how did we miss this restaurant till now? Saturday, his restaurant was packed. Sunday, he had a waiting list for people who wanted to dine at his restaurant. Yes, his food was good, his service was good, but he started building his brand that day using the exclusivity. That how are we missing out? Oh my God, if I am missing out, I am losing something in life. That is the feeling that he brought about in the mind of his target customer. That was brand building done in one day by an advice from a barber. And that is using exclusivity. This is another version of using exclusivity. So in our business, in our company, our firm, whatever we are doing, we can bring about exclusivity in so many different ways. And that's a powerful differentiator, because people will feel that, oh my God, I also want to be in that. Memberships, subscriptions, on invite basis, all these are exclusivity differentiation at play. This is the 5th strategy. And coming to the last one, customization and made to order. Yes, but this differentiation is the next one that we're going to be talking about, Pratap ji. Yes, limited period edition. Absolutely. That's again playing on exclusivity. Last differentiation strategy that I have for you today, and which I feel is one of the most powerful one, is customer experience. A powerful customer experience.
Customer experience 6 number.
A powerful customer experience is the best differentiator that you can have today. Why? Biggest reason. Why? Because when your differentiator is a powerful customer experience, you are creating an army of free, unpaid marketers for your brand. Your customers are going to talk about you where they go. Your customers are going to flaunt, hey, I am a client of him. You know, I am his client. Oh, I can't even think of another one. I will wait for some time. I will wait for as long as it takes for him to take my project, but I will not work with anybody else. I will only work with him. That's not a customer speaking. That's a brand superfan speaking. That's a brand devotee speaking. That's a brand loyalist speaking. And that can happen only when your brand can deliver an experience like that. 2 brands that come to my mind which deliver, whose differentiation is based on customer experience. Yes, you beat me to that, Rajesh ji. Yes, Apple creates a brand experience for you, a complete brand experience for you, right when you step inside an Apple store or you go to an Apple website to buy an iPhone or an iPad or any, any Apple product. When you buy from wherever in the world you buy, you are assured a customer experience, a brand experience. Another brand, now let's talk about an Indian brand which also differentiates on customer experience. In fact, a lot of you might also know this. You might have seen this outlet. You might even gone and buying from this outlet. It is Fab India. Fab India. Fab India is an attire brand, and now customer experience is the experience that you create for your customer from the moment the customer starts evaluating you to the moment the customer enters your shop, buys, goes out, and then starts talking about you to his friends and network. That's the entire cycle of customer experience. That's the entire customer journey. If you're giving a great experience in the entire journey, then that is a differentiator that nobody can beat you at. And that's powerful. Apple does that. Fab India does that. Fab India's now, right when you think of Fab India, yes, they stand for ethnic Indian attire. Affordable prices, but not inexpensive. Affordable, yes, not inexpensive. Good quality. No questions asked returns. No questions asked returns. Top quality customer service when you go there. The right amount of help, the right amount of distance. When you're buying something, you will not have people who will come and hover around you and ask you that, what is it that you want? Do you want? No, they know that a trained workforce, it's an entire deal. And it's a very interesting case study. The Fab India case study is very interesting because they have leveraged customer experience beautifully to such an extent that do you know that Fab India is the largest recommended ethnic Indian brand to foreigners by Indian locals? In metros, yes, of course. That's why it is such a powerful differentiator, because it's top of your mind. When somebody makes you feel good, you want to talk about it. Don't we all do that? When somebody makes us feel good, we want to talk about that to our friends, our family, our relatives, our friends. That's what customer experience does. And that is a powerful differentiator. And yes, it has to be authentic, it has to be true. And people will just love you and fall in love with you, with your brand. And that leads me, now I'll just quickly run through all the 6 differentiators that we spoke about today. A niche, a powerful story, innovation, expertise, exclusivity, and experience. These are the 6 differentiating strategies that I wanted to share with all of you today. And as promised, yes, I have taken, I think, 5 minutes more than 50 minutes, but I wanted to go in depth in each of these differentiation strategies and share with you as many examples and stories as I could in the available time. And so start today, differentiate and flourish. That's the message that I want to leave with all of you today. And now let us open the floor to questions, discussions, all that you want to throw at me. I'm right here. And I would love to connect with all of you on LinkedIn or on social media. Would love to stay in touch with all of you, and would love to do that. And my details are already shared with Mr. Gopi. So now it's a Q&A session. How do we do that, sir? Is it on chat, or can people unmute and ask?
Yeah, we can ask the participants to unmute and ask the question.
Perfect. Yes.
Before that, it was a fantastic session, Vinay.
Thank you so much.
Adjectives to express how much we enjoyed it. I must say, you never disappoint. Your perspectives is always refreshing. So now we'll get on to the question and answer sessions. Yeah, participants, you may please unmute and ask the questions, please.
At the outset, I would like to say what Gopi ji has said. Vinay, it was fantastic, very insightful, and absolutely, 1 hour of great investment, which will surely bring a lot of return, I would say.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I've got a very interesting question. Can I take that, Gopi ji?
Yeah, please go on.
Okay. Does differentiation make you go obsolete? Which means that if you differentiate, then is it possible that you can go out of the market, that you are no longer relevant? Now, to answer that question, differentiation is never a static thing, which means as the market evolves, your differentiation also has to evolve. A story that we've all heard n number of times about a brand that did not do that and became obsolete. Our very own Nokia. Kodak, yes. Kodak, Nokia, BlackBerry. These are brands that did not evolve along with time. These are brands that said that no, my differentiation is going to be there till the end of time, till eternity. My differentiation will work. No, when the market evolves, the differentiation has to evolve. You have to evolve as a brand. So yes, if you get stuck on a particular differentiation and not care about the market, yes, you can become obsolete. That's a lovely question. In fact, what a brilliant first question. Who asked that question? Yes, Pradeep Kumar. Pradeep ji, thank you very much for that question. Yes. Okay. Is differentiation?
So this is Pratap here.
Yes, Pratap.
Can I go ahead with my question? So you said this bad differentiators. So in bad differentiators, this should be quantified. I mean, whichever cannot be quantified is a bad differentiator. If my understanding is correct.
Something which can be provable.
Yeah, something which can be provable.
Provable.
Yes, so that is one thing. And customer experience is more of an experience than you can put a number to it or show this is a tangible benefit out of this. So I feel this too is like kind of contradicting somewhere. So how do you balance this?
I will explain that. Customer experience is fully quantifiable. Let me explain, because in fact you've asked me a question that makes me feel great, because the customer experience is my domain and you've asked me my pet question there. So customer experience is very, very quantifiable. Why? Because I'll give you one very simple example. How is it quantifiable? What is the first step that you get to know about a brand? How do you get to know about a new brand for the first time? Newspapers, social media, Google pop-up ads. These are the three broad common ways that we get to know a brand, right? Now, in that first step, when you get to know about, let's take an example of Bombay Shaving Company itself. Let's take we saw the ad, we saw the video of that of the brand. Now, when we get to know about that, is there a can you clearly see that from that ad, how, if you want to get the product, where do you get it from? Does the ad give you a way to buy that product? Sometimes our communication is very vague. We are not able to, we are not able to tell the customer, okay, I have impressed you. Now please come and meet me. But how do you meet me? I have not clarified. This is now, if there is very clear cut definition mentioned about what is the next step of action that your customer is supposed to take. That's one step of the customer journey. Another thing, when a customer enters your outlet, I'm talking about Fab India here. When a customer enters your outlet, what is the kind of, on a scale of say 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, how comfortable is it to exchange a piece of clothing that is not fitting? If you take your clothing, go there with the invoice. Oh, I didn't have my invoice. I think I misplaced my invoice. I lost my invoice. No problem, sir. Please tell us your mobile number. Oh yeah, your invoice is there with us, sir. Please hand it over there. Entire process took maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes, depending on the crowd at the outlet. But was it a hassle for you? No. And after that, if somebody asks you on a scale of 10, 1 being very difficult, 10 being very easy, where would you mark? Not definitely less than 8 to 10. That's quantifiable. Every step of the customer journey is quantifiable, either in terms of raw numbers or in terms of a scale. A scale is a very, very powerful, which is also the NPS is one of the tools that we use to measure customer satisfaction. So like that, we have CSAT, we have customer effort score. These are all customer effort score is what is the effort that a customer has to put in to buy from you. It's very difficult. Say, for example, you're a consultant and I am a prospect and I have connected with you and I say, okay, sir, can you send me a proposal? And now it's been 1 week and you have not sent me proposal. I am sending you a reminder. Okay, proposal has not come. Oh, I'm busy. I will send you the proposal. Okay, proposal has come. Then after that, proposal comes. So then you have to follow up 10 times to get a proposal. Then you wonder, okay, how will it be like working with him? He's always late for meetings. but I have to wait. Then your customer effort score will go up. When customer effort score goes up, your customer experience goes down. Your brand's customer experience goes down because customer has to put in more effort to do business with you. So that's how I've just given 3 examples to keep it short, but every step of the customer journey can be quantified and can be measured to improve. Because if you can't measure something, you can't improve it. Right? So that's to answer the question that yes, it has to be, if customer experience can be proved. Okay, we've got another question, which is, can we see this seminar in YouTube later? Yes, Gopiji,
Yes,
I think
yes.
it's available. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's available.
Is differentiation the unique value proposition or unique selling proposition? The unique selling proposition has now evolved into unique value proposition because people do not want to buy the product or the service. People want to buy value. Your customers want to buy value. Because today's customer is very different from the customer of 20 years back. 20 years back, the seller was the king. Because to get information, 20 years back, if you wanted to buy a car, where will you get the information from? You go to the car showroom and the salesman will explain to you the features of the car. Today, you will even see a 360-degree experience, a virtual reality experience on laptop itself. They're right now working on a system wherein you can even, get the feel of sitting inside the car while you're sitting at home. So the customer who's walking in knows all the details about the car. They just want to know what is the best price you'll offer, when will the delivery happen. They are already readily bought into the product. That's when, so the customer is different than it used to be earlier. So unique value proposition is what is created when you have a good differentiation strategy creates a unique value proposition. I hope I've answered the question, Arunji. Okay, unique selling proposition is something that was passive, that's old. That's for sales force. Now, even sales professionals are using unique value proposition. This is the unique value that you're getting from my brand. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arun, go on.
Yeah. Now I'm. Yes, Arunji. Yes.
No, thank you. I think it's very nicely explained. I think, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Shivaramanji, whether differentiation is same for B2B and B2C business? Most of your examples are B2C. Can you explain a case study example for B2B? Yes. The differentiation principles remain the same, Shivaramanji. They are definitely remain the same, but the application of the differentiation becomes different. Now, customer experience is equally relevant even for B2B. Innovation is equally relevant to B2B. Now, I recently worked with a client that, okay, now this is an important part here. The client produces nuts, bolts, and those, the micro components that go into a Ford car. So they are the OEM manufacturers of the tiny components that go into a Ford car. Now that's a pure B2B business. Now, where does differentiation come into that? Because there are lots of people who can manufacture. What is the big deal about that? Now they use 2 of the 6 differentiation strategies. Number 1, they use niche. They only create nuts and bolts for a very specific kind of car. A very specific kind of car which is manufactured by a particular. So which means that now if I am looking, okay, I'm Ford company and I want to buy this particular part. I know there are other guys who can offer me, but this guy makes only for me, man. This guy makes only for me. So that's a niche differentiation that they use very well. Secondly, they use innovation very well. Why? Because now when they started off, they used to bulk produce those nuts and bolts, and they package them and send it across. They added then they did research at the client's premise that how do the people who receive the stock, then they take them out, then they're used in assembly and all that, it gets used. One problem they found, okay, and this is important, very important to note here. The problem they found is that people often misplaced the different components, in the sense that one from this box will go into one from that box. So people are not very careful while dealing with that. Now, this is a very tiny little problem which they found on the shop floor. And this tiny little problem was solved by a tiny little sticker which they placed on the boxes. That's all it took. Innovation does not mean we have to completely reinvent the wheel. Innovation means identifying a tiny pain point, a gap in the market, something that is troubling your customer, and innovating to solve that problem. That's differentiation. That's differentiation for your customer. That's relevant, that's provable, and that's true. And that becomes a powerful differentiator there. A tiny sticker became a differentiator for that customer. So yes, this is the case study that comes to my mind immediately when it comes to B2B. There are lots of case studies, and differentiation is equally relevant. Yes, the strategies, niche, innovation, customer experience, all these are completely relevant for B2B also, but they're applied and used differently, because here your customer is an organization. So you have to look at the relevance of your differentiation to the different people in the organization who are going to use your product. If you have created a software which is a competition for Excel sheet, then you should know that all your customers are using, they're so used to Excel sheet, they don't want to learn something completely new. Can you make life easy for them by using innovation? Can you make life easy for them by customer experience? Is there a person available who can handhold them and take them through the usage? That's differentiation. I hope I have answered the question, Shivaraman.
Yes, Mr. Vinay, it was a very good session. I really appreciate your detailed view about 6 points, and the answer which you gave is also very good one. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Vinay, I have a question. This is Pratap
Yes.
here again.
Huh.
See, what you said is more like a one-on-one business, or people coming and visiting us and all that. So how this can be replicated when it comes to, say, e-commerce or online stores, where we don't come face to face with customers. It mostly happens through the website or through a e-commerce channel.
Great. Okay, let me first answer Pratap's question here. Now, let's look at a direct comparison. Okay. On one hand, now, and I will take the example where you're not even coming face to face with the customer. Okay, pure e-commerce. Now, when you go to Amazon to check a product out and you see a new product there, what is the first, and it's a new product, you're not very aware of this brand, what is the first thing that you see before you buy? First thing that you check? I mean, of course, other than the pricing, I'm not talking about the price, other than the price, after the price, whether you should go for this brand or not, what is the first thing that you will check out?
Reviews?
Yes, absolutely. Whether it is buying, when I order a packet of chili powder, a new brand of chili powder for my mother, and the first thing she says, are the reviews good? She will ask her, please check the reviews. Are the reviews good for that? Right now, reviews mean so much to us because we want to know what other people think about buying this, while buying this brand. When you have now, Amazon has created such a beautiful platform, which is why they're the leading e-commerce company in the world right now. The reason is because there's so much to learn from Amazon when it comes to all these differentiators. Now, they don't believe in niche because they're too big a company. So for them, niche is irrelevant. They are into every niche possible. They'll get into your niche also and take that niche over. They have that capabilities right now when it comes to e-commerce. But the important thing is that their differentiator is that, any product that you want, you find it on our platform. You can check how many people say what about the platform. You can check whether it's a verified review or not. You can then decide to buy. And even then, if you decide to buy and then after that you regret buying it, you don't have to regret because you can return it back and we will give you full refund without any questions asked in 3 days. Sometimes if it's Amazon Pay, they give you this refund the same day. So they have eliminated all kinds of fears from your mind. Now you're free. Now you're saying, oh, wow. Okay, I don't have anything to worry. Even if I go wrong, no problem. I can return these shoes immediately. There are people who are returning as many things as, they are buying. So because that fear has gone. So you've given them an amazing experience there while buying. Click, made a payment easy. There are some 18 options, if I remember right, for making payment. 18 options to make payment. You name any option under the sun, they have it available on their website. So that's Amazon. Now let's look at a small outlet. There is a brand called Kama Ayurveda. It's a premium brand. It's a premium brand, and they have their own website, and they also sell on other platforms also. Now, this is a brand which I have been studying recently, because of the way they have that, they are not depending on that. Okay, my sales will come from only Amazon or Flipkart. No, they are also directing the traffic to their own website. Now, a lot of times people are a little worried about buying from individual websites, because they think that, no, this will take more time. Amazon means Amazon would guarantee. So I'm like, okay, fine, Amazon guarantee is there, so now I'm set. They are offering an amazing buying experience right from their website itself. So
I have a same problem, Vinay, because I'm not depending on a Flipkart or Amazon for my product. I said mattress, so I want to drive the traffic through my website.
Yes.
So now
if to be a differentiator when you are delivering the sales from your thing, you'll have to be very clear about that. People may not, people may or may not stick around for a good experience. They will definitely leave you for a bad experience, which means that the number one thing to focus when you are doing the business through your website is to ensure that the customer's trust is retained through as good logistics as possible. Tell the customer upfront, you will get the delivery in 8 days, when you know that he'll get it in 6 to 7 days. But if it's getting in 9 days and you're telling 8 days, immediately the customer will start regretting, oh my God, I should have ordered the same thing on Amazon, or gone to a shop and bought it. It would have been here. Customers are okay to go through a hardship if you prepare them for the hardship. Okay. When hardship comes unannounced, unexpected, trouble happens. So you prepare them for that. They're happy to, wait and give you their time and attention. So that's
I have experienced that. I have experienced that.
Wonderful, wonderful, great question, and thank you for that, Pratap. Natural ice cream. Oh yes, very, very beautiful example, Rajesh ji. Yes. Natural ice cream is operating in a very clear niche. We do not use anything artificial. Everything in our ice cream is purely natural. And any kind of flavor you want, it's all natural. We are not using anything artificial. So please come and buy from us only if you're looking at authentic natural flavors. So they may not have a red velvet, because red velvet, you need to put color. Otherwise, you cannot get red velvet. We all know that. Yes, when the option of COD is available, it gives confidence to customers. Absolutely. That's another confidence booster. That's another element that adds to your customer experience. Yes. Terrific point there, sir. Yes.
But you'll be taken for a ride when it comes to COD. And especially for the business in which I am in. I cannot send a 6 by 6.5 size mattress and expect for payment.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You'll need the payment, because like I said, no, these are things which are very relevant to domains. That relevance has to be established first. Not everything can be applicable or relevant to all businesses, even in the same domain. Even in your domain itself, there may be some players who might be using COD, but then their context will be different. So, correct. So, it cannot.
So for me, it's more about customization. So what I'm making for Vinay will not be applicable for someone else. So if you reject it, then there is no other go. So I take the payment first time.
Yes. Whenever you're offering customization or personalization, please always ensure that it's a prepaid thing, because customization happens, and customization comes at a premium. Customization comes at an advance payment. These are all things, but these are all the customers who want that personal experience. They are willing to pay for that. Lux Hotels is an amazing example of that. One of the best services across the world. Maybe not at, Ritz-Carlton is known as the top when it comes to hotels with the best customer experience, but Lux is on the way to being there. So that's now there. Yes, it's premium. Lux Hotels don't come cheap, but the kind of experience you get at Lux Hotels is out of the world. I don't think we have no. I don't think we have a Lux hotel in India right now. Yes. So yes, that I think was the question that I took. Any further questions, Gopiji? Please let me know.
Participants, you might please unmute and ask your questions if you have any.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. You've been an absolutely great participative, interactive audience. I loved my Sunday morning. You made my Sunday morning worthwhile. Thank you for being here and asking all these very inquisitive questions. Yes, I can send across the what I will do is I will share the PDF of my presentation with Gopiji, and he can then share it with you. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, so I would love to connect with you there. And
can you take one last question?
Yeah, please, Vishwanath-ji, please.
Okay, I saw your profile that you teach people to this professional speaking.
Yes.
What is the kind of what profile and what kind of profile do you teach, or what are your people who participate in your coach generally? I just want to ask.
Yeah, I run the speaking academy called Miyagi Speaking Academy. So we run two kinds of programs. One works with children, one works with adults. Now, when we have a team that works with some of the leading schools in Chennai, like Shishya, like Velammal Group, we work with a lot of schools where we teach children communication and public speaking. And we have a program which runs through the year from July till February. We take them through an entire journey. It's a curated. We were the first pioneers of this program in Chennai, which is incorporated into the annual curriculum of children. And we've been doing that since 2012. It's been 10 plus years right now. And now I also. Yes, I've given talks at Rotary as well, and Rotary I've given I think 3 or 4 talks I've given in Rotary and organizations like, and I'm a member of the Professional Speakers Association of India, one of the earliest members of that's how I know some of the other speakers who've spoken here, and that's how I got connected with Gopiji through my friend Sangeeta. And
I actually I'm very impressed that you're going to the school level. Actually, this has been a thought for me for a long time, not now. I'm wondering, I mean, the way every subject must be taught, or the pedagogy must be that it should only be oral. Orally, people should be able to lucidly explain the subjects that they learn. Right. Now, instead of writing, I somehow feel writing answers is for clerks and peon, and for CEOs you actually make a presentation, right? So you should do away with these exams, like written exams, and the process must be spoken. You speak on your knowledge you have. That way, I mean, you train yourself to explain your concepts, and others also benefit, because here when 50 students write the exam, only the teacher benefits, of course, if at all. Whereas when students listen, everybody benefits. This is my thought.
True. No, I agree with you on the point that yes, children need to be able to speak. Children need to be able to express their thoughts. Yeah. In fact, this year we have started a very, very unique program which is customized for girl students specifically. It's an initiative for girls to speak up, be more assertive, learn how to say a no, establish clear boundaries, talk confidently in front of people, not get intimidated. So this is a communication module which we did not have till now. We created it only this year because we had that request from some of the schools that, we want something specifically for girls to be able to express. So we created this understanding their challenges, their issues that they deal with. And so each of our programs, like there's another program which we're running, which is on debating. So now debating is a program that I run myself, which is because I love teaching children how to debate. And debating is, I feel, a skill which unfortunately our country sees very wrong examples on TV. when it comes to debates. Debating is a very different skill and it needs to be learned. So that's something which we run. So these are the programs, and these programs are all aimed at helping children speak up, helping young people in schools and colleges speak up and understand why speaking is so important. Because when you can speak well, you can communicate your skills and knowledge well. Because you may have all the knowledge in the world, but if you cannot speak up at the right time, your knowledge is not going to help.
And others also imbibe and benefit
Yes.
out of it.
Yes.
Thank you, Vinay. Very good presentation.
Thank you very much. Before we close the session, I would love a photograph. If we can have a group photograph, with all of you with your cams on, it would mean a lot to me if we could have that. Gopiji, can you please?
Yeah, please.
Wonderful.
Shivraman, Pratap.
Great. I'm just going to take a snap. Okay, okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've been an amazing audience. Loved being here. Thank you very much.